Container perennials should be one of the most rewarding and the most forgiving forms of gardening available. A permanent plant, a beautiful container, a position on the patio or beside the front door, and years of expanding beauty from a single planting investment. That is the promise. But there is a gap between the promise of container perennials and the frustrating reality that many gardeners experience. Plants that decline through their second season, containers that produce a fraction of the bloom quality of their first year, and perennials that should have returned and improved but instead require replacement on a schedule that feels more like annual gardening than the permanent investment perennials are supposed to represent. That gap is not a mystery. It is the predictable result of 5 specific mistakes that are made consistently, repeatedly, and almost universally by gardeners who are new to growing perennials in containers. Mistakes that are entirely avoidable once you know what they are. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are counting down the 5 mistakes you must never make while growing perennials in containers, the errors that most consistently undermine container perennial performance, and the corrections that prevent them permanently. Let us get into it. Quick pause before we begin. If you are new here, welcome. Hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a video. And if our content has ever helped you diagnose a container problem you had been struggling to identify, a thumbs up right now means everything to this channel. It helps us reach more gardeners before they make the mistakes on today's list rather than after. We appreciate every single one of you. Now let us count down all 5. Container perennial gardening fails in predictable ways. The mistakes that undermine container perennial performance are not random. They follow consistent patterns rooted in the same fundamental misunderstanding, which is that growing a perennial in a container requires the same approach as growing it in open ground. It does not. The confined root volume, the accelerated drying cycle, the amplified temperature extremes, and the finite nutrient supply of a container create a growing environment that is fundamentally different from open soil in ways that demand a specifically adapted approach. Every mistake on today's list is rooted in that fundamental misunderstanding. Correct the approach and container perennials deliver on their promise of permanent, improving, annually returning beauty. Make these mistakes and they deliver disappointment on a repeating cycle. Let us count them all down. Mistake number 1. Choosing a container that is too small. The first mistake you must never make while growing perennials in containers is the one that is made most consistently and the one whose consequences are the most completely invisible until they have already done their damage. Choosing a container that is too small for the perennial being planted in it. The appeal of smaller containers is understandable. They are less expensive. They are easier to move. They look manageable and appropriately scaled when the perennial is first planted into them. But the perennial that looks right in a small container at planting time is a perennial that will be root-bound within 1 to 2 seasons. And a root-bound perennial is a perennial that cannot perform at anything close to its potential. The consequences of too small container selection compound progressively and become most visible at precisely the moment the gardener most wants the container to be at its best. In the first season, a too small container looks fine, and the perennial performs adequately. In the second season, the roots have filled the available volume and the plant shows the first signs of stress. More frequent wilting and heat, reduced bloom production, and a general lack of the vigorous, expanding quality that should characterize a second season perennial. By the third season, a perennial in a too small container is genuinely struggling, producing a fraction of the bloom it would produce in appropriately sized conditions, and looking like a plant that needs replacing rather than one that should be reaching its most impressive and most abundant performance phase. The rule to follow instead is to select a container that appears generous relative to the size of the perennial at planting time. For most garden center perennial starts, a container of at least 12 to 14 inches in diameter and 12 inches in depth provides sufficient root volume for the first 2 to 3 seasons of growth. For larger perennials including daylilies, coneflowers, and ornamental grasses, 16 to 18 inches in diameter is the appropriate starting point. For perennials that are expected to remain in the same container for many seasons, sizing up to 20 inches or more provides the root volume that allows the perennial to develop into its most vigorous and most floriferous mature form without the root restriction that causes premature decline. Mistake number 2, using garden soil instead of proper container mix. The second mistake you must never make while growing perennials in containers is one that seems entirely logical until you understand why it is so consistently damaging. Filling containers with garden soil, topsoil, or any soil-based growing medium instead of a specifically formulated container potting mix. The reasoning behind this mistake is usually either economy, garden soil is free or cheap, or a misguided instinct that plants which grow in soil in the ground must surely do equally well in soil in a container. Neither the economy nor the instinct survives contact with the reality of how soil behaves in a container environment. Garden soil in a container compacts under the repeated wetting and drying cycles of container culture into a dense, poorly draining, oxygen-depleted mass that suffocates roots, restricts water penetration, and creates the anaerobic conditions that promote root rot and fungal disease. The same soil that provides an adequate growing environment in open ground, where it is aerated by earthworms, by frost action, by root movement, and by the constant biological activity of a living soil ecosystem, becomes a progressively more hostile medium in the closed, isolated, confined environment of a container. A perennial planted into garden soil in a container is fighting the growing medium rather than being supported by it, and the fight eventually exhausts the plant, regardless of how well everything else is managed. The correction is straightforward and permanent. Use a high-quality container potting mix specifically formulated for container culture in every container perennial planting without exception. Quality container mixes are engineered for the drainage, aeration, moisture retention, and weight characteristics that container growing demands. They provide the loose, well-structured, oxygen-rich root environment that allows container perennials to develop the vigorous root systems that sustain their most abundant and their most long-term reliable bloom performance. For perennials that prefer particularly good drainage, including lavender, agastache, and gaillardia, Ian amend the container mix with 10 to 20% horticultural perlite or coarse grit to further enhance drainage and aeration. Mistake number 3, neglecting nutrition after the first season. The third mistake you must never make while growing perennials in containers is the one responsible for more second season disappointment and more premature container perennial replacement than any other single error on today's list. Neglecting to feed container perennials after their first season in the pot. In the first season after planting, a container perennial benefits from the nutrients incorporated into the fresh potting mix at planting time. Those initial nutrients support the establishment phase and the first season's growth and bloom cycle adequately. By the end of the first growing season, those nutrients have been depleted by the plant's growth, leached from the potting mix by repeated watering, or both. The second season begins with a nutrient-depleted growing medium, and a plant that the gardener is expecting to perform at least as well as it did in year 1. The consequence of this nutrient neglect is a second season container perennial that looks healthy in early spring, when the plant is drawing on its stored root reserves, but begins to show the effects of nutritional deficiency as the growing season advances and those reserves are depleted. Pale foliage, reduced stem production, shorter and fewer bloom spikes, and a general lack of the vigorous, expanding, increasingly confident quality that a second season perennial should display are all symptoms of the same underlying cause. A plant that should be entering its most productive and most beautiful phase is instead working against a nutritional deficit that limits everything it is trying to produce. The correction is a 2-part feeding program that addresses both the immediate and the sustained nutritional needs of container perennials through the growing season. In early spring, as container perennials begin their seasonal growth surge, incorporate a balanced, slow-release granular fertilizer into the top inch of the potting mix at the rate recommended on the product label. This provides a sustained baseline of nutrition through the early and mid-season growth period. Supplement that slow-release foundation with a liquid-balanced fertilizer applied every 2 to 3 weeks through the peak growing and blooming season from late spring through late summer. This liquid feeding program maintains the nutrient availability that supports continuous bloom production, rather than allowing the nutritional plateau that slows bloom output in underfed container perennials through the second half of the season. Mistake number 4, failing to protect roots from winter temperature extremes. The fourth mistake you must never make while growing perennials in containers is the one that converts what should be a permanent, annually returning garden investment into a plant that needs replacing every spring. Failing to protect container perennial roots from winter temperature extremes. Perennials growing in open ground are insulated from the most extreme winter temperature fluctuations by the thermal mass of the surrounding soil, which moderates temperature swings and maintains root zone temperatures significantly above the air temperature during cold snaps. Perennials growing in containers have no such insulation. The roots are separated from the coldest winter air by nothing more than the wall of the container, and container wall temperatures track air temperatures closely, exposing the root system to the same extreme cold that damages above-ground plant structures. The specific mechanism of container winter damage is freeze-thaw cycling rather than continuous deep cold. When container soil freezes and then thaws repeatedly through winter, the expanding and contracting ice crystals in the soil physically rupture root cell walls, damaging the root system in ways that manifest as slow, weak, or absent spring emergence from plants that appeared healthy when they entered dormancy in autumn. A perennial that should be expanding its root system and increasing its spring performance with each passing year is instead beginning each new season with a partially damaged root system that must regenerate before it can support productive growth, reducing the bloom quality and the vigor of that season's performance relative to what the plant could produce from an undamaged, fully intact root system. The corrections available for container perennial winter protection are several and can be applied individually or in combination depending on the severity of the climate and the value of the plants being protected. Moving containers to a sheltered position against a house wall, into an unheated garage, or beneath a covered structure reduces the severity of temperature fluctuation the roots experience through winter. Wrapping containers in bubble wrap, horticultural fleece, or hessian insulates the container wall against the most extreme temperature drops. Grouping multiple containers together reduces the surface area exposed to cold air relative to the combined thermal mass of the grouped containers. And selecting perennial varieties with hardiness ratings at least one zone colder than the garden's actual zone provides an additional margin of cold tolerance that reduces the risk of root damage in all but the most extreme winter conditions. Mistake number 5. Overwatering without understanding container drainage. The fifth and final mistake you must never make while growing perennials in containers is also the most common single cause of container perennial failure across every gardening experience level, from complete beginners to gardeners who have been growing plants for decades. Overwatering combined with inadequate drainage. The instinct to water frequently and generously is understandable, and in most cases comes from genuine care for the plant rather than negligence. But container perennials do not need or want constant moisture. And the combination of frequent watering and containers with insufficient drainage creates root zone conditions that are genuinely lethal to the majority of garden perennials. Within a matter of weeks, the damage mechanism of overwatering in containers is not simply that the plant receives more water than it needs. It is that saturated container soil displaces the oxygen that root cells require for respiration, creating an anaerobic root zone in which roots suffocate rather than drowning in the conventional sense. Root cells deprived of oxygen begin dying within hours of saturation. The above-ground symptoms of this root suffocation, yellowing leaves, wilting despite moist soil, and progressive decline in plant vigor, are identical to the symptoms of underwatering, which leads many gardeners to water more frequently in response to a problem that is already being caused by watering too frequently. The cycle of overwatering in response to overwatering symptoms accelerates the root damage until the plant cannot be recovered. The permanent correction requires addressing both components of the problem simultaneously. On the watering frequency side, the rule is to check the soil moisture at a depth of 2 to 3 inches before watering and to water only when the soil at that depth is dry, rather than on a fixed schedule that does not account for variations in temperature, rainfall, or plant growth rate. On the drainage side, ensure that every container has adequate drainage holes, that those drainage holes are not blocked by the container base or by a saucer that accumulates standing water beneath the container, and that the potting mix drains freely after watering rather than retaining a perched water table at the base of the container. Together, those two corrections eliminate overwatering as a risk and replace it with the moisture management regime that allows container perennial roots to develop the healthy, oxygenated, freely draining root environment they need to perform at their most vigorous and their most abundantly beautiful best. And there you have it. 5 mistakes you must never make while growing perennials in containers. Choosing a container that is too small, the invisible mistake whose consequences compound progressively until the perennial is struggling at precisely the moment it should be thriving. Using garden soil instead of proper container mix. The economical decision that creates a progressively hostile root environment that limits everything the perennial is trying to produce. Neglecting nutrition after the first season, the oversight responsible for more second season disappointment and more premature container perennial replacement than any other single error. Failing to protect roots from winter temperature extremes, the omission that converts a permanent garden investment into a plant that needs replacing every spring. And overwatering without understanding container drainage, the most common and the most consistently damaging single cause of container perennial failure across every experience level. Rooted in genuine care expressed in the wrong way at the wrong frequency. 5 mistakes, 5 corrections, container perennials that deliver on their promise of permanent, annually returning, increasingly abundant beauty in exactly the positions you want them most. Thank you so much for watching. We are genuinely grateful you are here. If today's video identified a mistake you have been making without knowing it and gave you the correction that will change how your container perennials perform from this season forward, please hit that thumbs up right now. It helps this channel reach more gardeners before they make these mistakes rather than after. And if you are not yet subscribed, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a video. We will see you in the very next video. Until then, avoid the mistakes, make the corrections, and as always, happy gardening.